Hello there, YouTube. That's my second attempt at this video. The pipe is almost gone. I can assume I was smoking fire dance flake in my Dagnar. Sorry, my phone doesn't have enough memory. Sorry. Anyways, in this video I tried to get a little bit political. Sorry about that. Because I was looking at, I saw the brilliant, in my opinion, video by Chad Yarborough about the history of the United States and the loss of innocence. Posted that a couple of days ago. And you know, this video coupled with the recent news about the monuments to monument to Robert E. Lee being taken down and the violence that it caused. Made me think. And then I saw a humorous video, I think on cracked.com, on their YouTube channel, where they very witty and funny explained that the monument to Robert E. Lee is basically the same as having a monument to Mussolini in Rome or a monument to Hitler in Berlin. And I was thinking about monuments, because my country is chock full of monuments to Lenin, for example, the guy who basically caused the Russian Civil War and who was a big proponent of something called the Red Terror. You can Google this thing on Wikipedia. That's a fascinating, if frightening, read. So we have our share of monuments and the mummy at the Red Square, and our share of debate as to what to do with all this legacy. When the Soviets won the Civil War, our Civil War, they basically killed everyone who opposed them, or didn't agree with them, or forced them to flee abroad. And when the South surrendered to the North, strange enough, the Americans didn't do that. They tried to reintegrate the former Confederate states back into the Union. That Reconstruction and the Amnesty Act 1872, or the presidential pardon of Confederate generals, it all served the purpose of unification. In the present day, rhetoric and taking down the monuments, I wonder if it, undermines what the forefathers did back then. American South and the Confederacy are already, the universal symbol of rebellion. You cannot destroy that. Anyone who identifies himself as a rebel, quote unquote, feels the urge to put the Confederate flag somewhere, on the battle jacket, on the bike, on the guitar, somewhere. He doesn't even care 9 times out of 10 what flag is that. What is it? The flag of the Confederacy, the battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia, the battle flag of the Army of Tennessee. He doesn't care. That's the flag of rebellion. Basically, same thing as the famous portrait of Che Guevara. And similarly, Robert E. Lee is also a symbol. I think to many people in the South of the US. What does he symbolize to them? Old-time American South, definitely. The army that defended their homes and fought, against the odds, definitely, because everyone is rooting for the underdog. He may even represent Reconstruction, because he was one of the a much-loved general who laid down his arms and went on with his life after the war. As far as I remember, he was even the president of a college. Can you imagine a war criminal being given leadership of the educational institution? That's saying something, at least to me. I think to people in the American South, Lee is, their spirit and the army that defended them. He represents the people who died for them. Speaking about the people who died, forget Lee, forget the generals. I read through the list of monuments that were, removed and taken down. And among them are monuments to the unknown soldier, to the Johnny Reb monuments. And somehow that really ticked me off. Because monument to the unknown soldier represents just that, the known soldier that died, the field of battle. And if I was, if my grand-grandfather fought for the Confederacy, taking down the monument to the unknown soldier, to me, will be just the officials saying that, your grand-grandfather, who probably didn't own slaves, probably couldn't care less about slavery, who enlisted because he thought it was the right thing to do and he wanted to protect his rights, or wanted simply to protect his home against an invading army. We do not approve of him. We think he died a worthless death for the cause that we think is evil. We are currently formulating it as evil. That's the words of a winner stomping the loser that is already down and doesn't want to fight, really. I always think about these initiatives, removing the old monuments, and I think to myself, don't these people have anything better to do? Maybe something more productive than fighting symbols? According to their interpretation, we think it's evil. It has to go. I don't know. They claim these monuments are, rallying points for the white supremacists. I don't know the local atmosphere, local cuisine, but they sure as hell didn't make international headlines until, people started to take them down and taking the monuments down made them the rallying points, in my opinion. And yet nothing was done about, the white supremacists themselves. They were allowed their freedom of expression, and somehow they were allowed to clash with the anti-fascists, and this all led to bloodshed. I don't understand how come the government is willing to fight the monuments but cannot do anything about the, white supremacists themselves. Doesn't it show the, impotency of the officials? I don't really know what the solution will be. Probably replacing the monuments. I heard that some of them are replaced by, generic monuments to the war. Maybe if they replaced Robert E. Lee with a monument that, had Lee on the one side and Grant on the other side, maybe that'll miraculously make everyone happy. I don't know. I doubt that. But comparing Monument to the Combat General with, Hitler or Mussolini, to me there's a difference between, the general that was loved by his people and who fought, in one of the, as Churchill put it, the last war fought by the gentleman. There's a difference between him and the guy who seized power and decided to kill all the Jews and Gypsies and Russians, by the way. Don't get me wrong, slavery is an awful thing. It shouldn't be allowed to happen anywhere. Just as, nationalism is a horrible thing. And when Leo Alderbold wrote, I think, on Instagram, just, why don't they shoot the goddamn white supremacists? It's exactly what our grandfathers did, He's right, but it all looks fishy to me. Every time I see that, I'm a skeptic. I want to know, I'm thinking about who benefits from, in this situation, from, citizens of the United States killing each other over a statue. There must be someone who has benefits from this. I promised in my last video that my next video will be more cheerful. Apparently I cannot keep my promise. Sorry. But I had to put this out there. Well, I promise my next video will probably be more cheerful. I apologize if I am offending anyone, really. But take that from a guy who has, a mummy of a dead communist leader at the center of his capital. A man responsible for probably millions of people dead. If fighting monuments is not done in the civil way, no, we are really not much better than the thing we are trying to fight. Anyways. I wish you all people a very happy, pleasant evening, or day, or morning, or whatever. I urge you people to play it safe and not do anything rash and stupid. Because it's, you know, any government is very, very happy when it does the thinking instead of the citizens. Mine is extremely happy about that. So think for yourselves and take care. Thank you very much for dropping by. I do hope this video won't be taken down. I do hope that no one will start, you know, a shitstorm in the comments. I don't want that, really. But the polite discussion is always welcome. I promise my next video will be more cheerful. I really do. Thank you very much for dropping by again. See you people. Until next time, goodbye. See you.